All right, gentlemen, let's do it. Yearly film series 2011. 2011, is that technically, that's not the start of a new decade, right? I guess some people debate whether the 1 is the start or the 0 is the start,
I feel like
right?
the 1 is the start.
People
I'm
debate
always
some weird
I'm
shit.
genuinely a 0 guy because like you don't say when you say the 80s, like you wouldn't say the decade started in 81. You'd say it started in 80. Um, but I understand, like I guess the years like shit started at year 1, right? You didn't start year 0. So then, based on that logic,
No, I
Yeah.
mean it would start. I don't know, because it's like when you look at a clock in 24-hour time. When it's midnight, it's 00,
yeah.
and then it's 1.
So what's the first year? 0 or 1?
I don't think it was anything. I don't think people
We
were
just
like, "We're
created
gonna
it after.
start
Yeah, we
this." And
created it after the fact.
it was definitely something that happened crazy after the fact.
True.
I don't
All
know. I
right.
wasn't there. It was a
Yeah.
little. It was a little long ago.
I mean, there was that movie Year One.
That's true.
So if we follow the rules, then I guess it would be
I have to see it
based on
again.
Corey. It would be based on what Corey said. You'd be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck it. Let's just start with 2011 and get things going. So yeah, we'll talk about a few movies that we found memorable. I believe there was at least one submitted from one of our most devoted listeners, Derek.
We got a bunch in Twitch chat too. So
Oh, all right, never mind. Got more than one. So yeah, let's start with our picks, and then we'll get into some bonus ones. Corey, really fucking interesting pick.
Yeah. This is a movie that I will say that when it came out, because I'm a fan,
you're gonna get eaten for this.
I would not believe that this movie was not good. I tried so hard to enjoy it. And it's Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. I still feel that there are some good things about this movie. I don't hate Ryan Reynolds. He's just not Hal Jordan, but he did his best. The special effects were amazing. Mark Strong was great. It had some good moments, but overall, like the longer time goes on,
Doug's giving one of his faces like, no, it didn't.
the longer time goes on, like it's just it's
CGI suit and the mask.
I don't think that
The
that
CGI
was.
eyes
I don't think that was a poor decision.
that they had on them.
I don't know how
Wasn't
else
the
you
bad
would.
guy?
What's that?
Agree.
The
I think
bad-
that was a very poor decision.
Yeah, the bad guy. That was a poor decision. But the special effects, I don't know. I think they tried to go big with the special effects. I know the movie was not cheap, and it kind of falls on in a lot of ways. I think that George Lucas with the prequels, just too much special effects. I mean, the plot was not good. The script rather, but the special effects for the most part they just went too far into CG. It should have been a little bit more practical effects. Probably would have been even more expensive if they did that. But yeah, overall the script was poor, which is so surprising because of who directed it. Martin Campbell.
The director of the Protege, Martin Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think.
Jamie's like, fuck.
Can I change my last pick?
No, I mean he's a good director. I think Warner Brothers. I think this was Warner Brothers sticking their nose into creative's business. So.
Oh, they never do that though.
Yeah. Right. I think that was why this movie failed in a lot of ways. I think Ryan Reynolds was definitely miscasted, but he did the best that he could. I didn't think he was terrible. Blake Lively was terrible.
He did the best he could with what he had. Yeah, that's the line.
And what? Oh, Michael Clark Duncan, wasn't this one of his
Wife
last
on
roles?
that show.
Yeah.
He played.
I brought that up before. Kilowog.
Yeah, he was Kilowog.
Yeah, I don't know
It was
if
one
it
of
was
his
one
last roles. I think it was one of his last.
You might be right. I don't remember when he passed.
But yeah, this I haven't watched in a while, but this is definitely one that is memorable, I would say, for that year.
He died at the end of 2012.
Oh, okay. And this came out in 2011
So
summer.
I think this movie is something you can't do with a lot of practical because it's so fantastical. Like the guy's power is that he can generate energy and whatever his imagination desires. But the one thing you probably could have done practical was his suit and his fucking
Right.
mask.
Yeah.
Like, why
I
would
don't.
waste all that money on like generating a CGI suit, generating like a CGI mask with CGI eyeballs? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it just felt like it looked goofy because technology isn't in a place where I think we can generate eyes that look realistic, and then a
We
waste of
certainly can't do mustache or
resources.
digitally removing mustaches.
Yeah, it was
Well,
definitely an uncanny valley
yeah.
for sure. I do agree with you. I think they should have done a suit and not the elaborate crazy suit. Even though it did, I don't know, it did look cool at the time. It was interesting, but
Didn't they fix it? Didn't they put out one of them and it was like truly awful, and then they fixed it and did the CGI thing?
oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. The first trailer for that movie, the CGI was so bad, and they went back and they improved it, I guess. I haven't seen it in a long time, that trailer, but I remember that happening. There was backlash.
I think you're right. It was like a Sonic situation, except for
Yeah.
Yeah.
they didn't really like completely fix it. It was kind of
Mhm.
like a half measure where
Yeah.
like it looked slightly better. It wasn't like
It wasn't world
completely
better.
improved version of the character.
Oa,
Yeah.
the planet Oa was probably the best part of the movie. I thought that was well realized. That, but yeah,
Yeah, that was cool.
for the most part, it just was definitely mishandled
Oh yeah.
all
I mean,
right.
and
say-
disappointing for me as a
say
fan.
Well, I didn't get to see this one. I mean, I chose not to. Could have
Yeah.
saw it, but I will take your words on whether it's actually worth watching or not. Sounds like no, it's not.
it's-
So, all right, Doug, you have a mystery pick. What are you selecting?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the script, so hopefully it's not on.
Hopefully, it's
I
in
feel pretty good.
2011.
None of you guys would have picked this movie.
That'd be fucking weird if you did.
Picked. Yeah, I figured
You're fucking muting on us.
off that.
yeah, I can't hear your words you're saying.
Well, you definitely didn't pick JP's pick because
Can you
you
hear me?
didn't even see Fast Five. Oh shit! Spoiler
Alert.
alert.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You hear? Nope.
All right, Doug, we'll go back to you.
No, you can't hear me.
Now we can hear you. Well, all right, Doug, we're gonna go to JP. We'll come back to you when you're working. JP.
I kind of cheated because I feel like this is just a really easy one to pick.
And didn't
I
you
went-
do the original?
I don't think I did.
No, oh
Maybe
wait,
I-
no. I think somebody. No, we've talked about it as an extra movie.
I went with Fast Five because Fast Five was basically the big reimagining of the Fast and the Furious franchise.
The Avengers of the franchise before the Avengers even existed.
It really was. To see all these characters come onto the screen from all the other movies and join together was just such a good feeling. The movie is just fun, and it feels good, and it's not too outlandish. It definitely was going off the rails at that point, but kind of stayed a little true to where they were. It's just a weird departure from the Fast and the Furious. No, is it no Fast and the Furious, which is the fourth one.
Which Fast and Furious?
Fast and Furious, which is just a rehash of basically the first one.
Yeah.
And then to go super crazy and make it a just all about a heist. Not so much about racing anymore. Bring The Rock in, bring in Tyrese, bring in Ludacris back, tie Han into it all.
Bring
Yeah,
Vince in.
fucking Vince. Still waiting for Leon.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot, they brought her in. You got Letty back? No, Letty was
No, but mentioning her in the post credits.
and
You got Eva Mendes in the post credits.
Eva Mendes in the
Fucking
stinger, the post credit.
Fuentes.
Holy shit! It was just it's the Fast and the Furious universe in a movie, and they probably could have just ended it there, and I would have been super happy. It's still a movie I watch. When I see the end of it, I get giddy. I love the way this.
Oh, the end is so good. Like that montage at the end.
Yeah,
Fast Five. Yeah, Fast Five is the best of the franchise.
It really is.
Like it's easily the best movie. Obviously, we all have our like love for the original one, which definitely has a lot of the nostalgia that would say that would be the best one.
Yep.
But 5 is definitely the best made movie of
Absolutely.
that series.
100%. And it's just gone sort of downhill from there.
Yeah.
Maybe
Hopefully we get a rebound next month.
Yeah. I don't think they will, but maybe 10 will send them off in a good way.
Or 11.
Or 11. Yeah. But Fast 5 was just way too good to pass up on my list. And so that's my movie for 2011.
Awesome. Doug, you're back with us?
I think so. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
So Murph, I'm gonna steal your movie right out from underneath you. Just kidding. You're not gonna pick this. I picked Source Code.
You are correct. I did not pick it.
The Jake Gyllenhaal movie, in my favorite concept to happen in any movies. Jake Gyllenhaal is stuck in a time loop in which he has to prevent a bomb from going off in a train. I don't know. I really like this movie. I don't think it got a lot of critical acclaim. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. I think it wasn't in theaters very long and then probably went to DVD, but I think it's a good movie. It's fun.
It's got
fun to make like
Tomatoes.
It's good. I mean, as far as like sci-fi movies go, I think it's one of the better ones. Jake Gyllenhaal is kind of like an action hero. He's trying to stop a bomb on a train going off. He has to keep reliving every day until he can stop the bomb. He has no. You start the movie, you have no idea why he's stuck in the time loop. They figure it out over time. I don't know if it's satisfying the answer to why he's stuck in the time loop, but kind of like a sci-fi element to it. And Jake Gyllenhaal does a good job in the action hero role. So it's one of those movies. I don't feel like a lot of people have seen it, but if you can watch it, I think it's worth a watch.
It's got Jeffrey Wright in it.
I do remember enjoying it when I first saw it. I thought it was clever. Haven't seen it since.
I've seen it a few times, and kind of a fun movie.
Yeah,
a little in the dark, got like some dark aspects to it, but overall, if you like time loop movies, I feel like you'll like this movie.
Yeah, it's one of those time loop movies we don't talk that often about. Like when we talk about time loop movies, like we typically just skip from like Groundhog Day to I don't know what's the most recent one. Or I typically go from Groundhog Day to Edge of Tomorrow. I completely forget about Source Code.
I love Edge of Tomorrow.
And then I'll talk about like the Happy Death Days, Russian Doll, Palm Springs, etc., etc. But yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah, and the big difference between Edge of Tomorrow and this movie is Edge of Tomorrow is probably an action movie, whereas I think this one, Source Code, leads into the fact of you're trying to solve the mystery with Jake Gyllenhaal of who's setting off the bomb that's blowing up the train, and so it like leans on like the mystery.
Yeah,
that would be what I would say the big difference is. But the movies, both movies, check it out if you haven't seen it. It's definitely a movie. It was the reason I picked it.
All right. Assuming you're done talking, can't really tell. Yeah, you must be done. All right, I'll go with mine. So yeah, mine is not fun at all. Um, but it's memorable in the fact that we kind of lived it for the past
Topical.
year plus. Yeah, it's been incredibly topical for the past year. I went with Contagion. Um, it had a lot of accuracies in what would happen in when a global pandemic goes down, both from being a respiratory thing to the big difference being that it was not as deadly as COVID. Thank God. But the social shit going to hell, and eventually to vaccine dispersals and everything like that. It was just a really good, well-made procedural. Soderbergh crushed it. It kind of had a similar way of making it as Traffic, where it just followed a bunch of different characters that weren't really tied together. But you followed their story arcs and stuff like that. But killer cast: Marion Cotillard, Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kate Winslet, Lawrence Fishburne, Jude Law, Bryan Cranston. So really well acted, in addition to well directed and well written by Scott Z. Burns. But yeah, I think it just like if we're talking about memorable movies, COVID's going to be one of the most memorable things in all our lifetimes, and it was synonymous with the start of COVID. Everyone like wanting to watch a movie like Contagion or anything with a virus. Um, Even though I don't know why people wanted to watch bleak shit when things were already as bleak as they were. I chose not to watch Contagion over the past year. I will catch up with it again when I'm in the mood to reminisce about what was. But thank God it was not as bad as Contagion, like I said.
This was
I
one that I
never-
revisited right when about when the
Oh yeah,
pandemic
you
started.
did,
Yeah, because I am a sick fuck.
and it like felt very similar to a lot of the things, right?
Yeah, big time, big time.
I
mean,
never
that-
wanted to see this movie.
and you really don't want to see it
I
now.
will never
it's-
fucking see this movie ever.
It's incredibly similar, incredibly
Yeah,
shockingly.
and I mean the virus starts out in like China
Asia,
or Asia. It's just there's a bat involved. It's wild. I mean, there was the reason why they had like Hollywood had Steven Soderbergh basically produce the Oscars and do all types of other stuff. He was like their guy because he did just so much research on Contagion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even if this thing didn't happen, it was already one of my favorite movies of 2011. Have the Blu-ray. Definitely do need to revisit though because it's been a while. Doug, did you ever see this one?
Um, if I want to say I've seen parts of it, I don't know if I've seen the whole thing.
Got it. All right.
Is it? Yeah, it's one word that's worth checking out though and seeing all the way through.
Yeah.
Like I remember
think it'd
the
be-
opening
I
of this
think it
movie,
would
and I
be
remember
more
like
interesting now to watch it
Oh yeah, definitely.
after what we just went through,
yeah,
For sure.
probably than before. Which is, I mean, the renewed popularity of this one over the past year was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was ranking high on like Apple charts and Google and all those. Um, so yeah.
yeah.
Let's get into the extra picks. What do we got? The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard. Never saw this one.
I
I know
wanted it to be so much better than it
It
actually.
was Jeremy Piven's like one starring, like one lead role around the Entourage, right?
And it had that Anchorman vibe to it. I think it was from some of the same people.
Was Michael Clark Duncan in this one too?
Yes, I believe he was.
Oh, so this one came out after Green Lantern.
No, I'm sorry, he wasn't.
Oh, he wasn't.
Fucking Ving Rhames.
Ah, well, they got cast in a lot of the same type of roles back in the 90s, 2000s.
They probably played the exact same fucking type of character too.
Yeah,
Yeah, this movie was not funny at all.
yeah. It reminded me of Talladega Nights, like that type of vibe, like what you said, Anchorman.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe Talladega Nights was the vibe. Maybe that was a little bit more recent. It's so incredibly forgettable for a movie that you would think would have had like a cast with a lot of personality.
mhm.
Because Piven did the whole fucking entourage thing. You got all the same types of guys. You like David Koechner, you have Ed Helms, Ken Jeong, Rob Riggle was in it, Brian
All the
Callen.
regulars.
Yeah, and it just no. It even had Matt Walsh. It had like all the makings of a like a Hangover or like Talladega Nights, and it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Weird movie.
All right, then we've got Adam Sandler's Just Go With It. This was the one with him and Jennifer Aniston. JP, have you seen this one, or do you have to add it to your list?
I haven't. It's not a Netflix movie, is it?
No, it's not.
Then I will not be watching it. This one doesn't look like it's any good either.
Yeah, this was this was a vacation one. He went to Hawaii. I guess this was his second of. Has he gone? No, yeah, this was only his second of 2 times going to Hawaii for a movie, I
Gotcha.
believe. Oh no, he even went to Hawaii and Punch Drunk Love, and that was a serious one and not a vacation movie.
Man loves
50
Hawaii.
First Dates, this one, and Punch
Yep.
Drunk Love.
Yep.
I mean,
Punch
Hawaii's
Drunk Love
beautiful.
was the first Hawaii one, actually. But yeah, it had some funny moments. I think Dave Matthews had a funny part in this one, if I remember correctly.
Oh my god, funnier
Funny.
than Zohan?
No, not funnier than Zohan.
He had Jennifer Aniston and Brooklyn Decker in this one, so he was double.
Yes, he double dipped exactly.
Oh,
Double dipped and went to Hawaii.
This is hubris.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
any form of punishment he gets for this. You're gonna. He's like, I'm gonna go to a really nice place and I have 2 really gorgeous female leads in this movie.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Too close to the sun, Adam Sandler.
What's your number? Which one was this?
I have no idea.
What's your number? Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
Was Aubrey Plaza in this one?
And no, Anna Faris and Chris Evans.
Hmm.
I have no recollection.
You're stumping us.
Kate kills us with these ones. I feel like I haven't watched these movies.
Yeah, this is not one that I've heard of myself.
All right. Well, I guess we got to add to the list. I mean, 2 solid leads.
Yeah.
This is Captain America, Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been like the same summer that, or the same year that First Avenger came out.
Yeah.
Freeman's in this movie.
Martin Freeman?
Morgan Freeman?
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman. Oh, interesting. Pretty good cast.
And we've got 50-50. Seth Rogen's like one of his first forays into more serious comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I love the pairing of him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and the director. They went on to do the night before, right?
Yeah.
Or the night of.
The night
which
before.
Night before.
Yeah.
Oh, the night of that HBO miniseries. But yeah, that was a solid one. With Anna Kendrick and Bryce Dallas Howard were really good in it too. Definitely not enough people saw this one.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Stupid Love, fucking really good cast.
Yeah.
Steve Carell, Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, Marissa Tomei, Kevin Bacon. There's even some more people that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Like Jonah Bobo.
Like who?
Jonah Bobo. He was a child.
Oh, yes, Jonah Bobo.
First 7 people billed when you look at it on Google.
I'm guessing he's Steve Carell's son. But this one has solid twists too for a romantic movie. Like it's not a straightforward romantic comedy, which I wasn't expecting when I initially saw it. But it's got a lot of charming performances, mostly from Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Bridesmaids, huge comedy in 2011. Corey, have you seen this one? You didn't like it, right?
I don't know.
JP, I know you don't like it either.
I don't like
Doug's been frozen, so I can't even ask him.
Oh, he is frozen.
He's in a very serious pose.
I didn't realize that he was frozen.
Bridesmaids, you say?
Yeah, this was Paul Feig, right? I hate his damn movies. I hate
Pup.
almost every single one.
Yeah, he directed it. Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo wrote it.
Yeah.
But yeah, breakout performances from Melissa McCarthy. I think she was nominated for an Oscar, if I'm not mistaken.
So weird.
For this one, it's insanely weird.
I don't like her.
And
She's
then
horrible.
So annoying.
and then and then we were talking about Captain America era Chris Evans. We can also talk about Thor era Chris Hemsworth
Yeah.
in Cabin in the Woods.
This movie's fucking amazing.
Kind of deconstruction of horror movies. Interesting type of I don't know if you call it a satire, but
It's definitely a satire.
yeah, it was very
Yeah.
different.
Totally.
This is the
Kind of
first
starts
horror
like
movie I couldn't get enough of.
starts like an Evil Dead type movie and
incredibly
turns
funny.
into something completely different.
Yeah, I love this movie. I saw someone on the internet, they created a mock-up of a book that's not real, but it was a choose your own adventure Cabin in the Woods book.
Mhm.
And I want someone to fucking write that. Because I
that would be
read
great.
somewhere that the people that wrote this movie had like a link to everything in the basement to something else.
Yeah.
And I want to know what every little thing leads to.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Just there was so much there.
This was Bradley Whitford was in this, right?
Yep, Bradley Whitford and Richard Jenkins.
Yeah.
Fail.
Oh,
They were
those two were really fucking good in this.
Yeah.
So good. I
Uh,
just love the caricature, like unrealistic people that were being murdered. Like you had the stoner and the jock, and it made so much sense about halfway through the movie.
Were any of the other teens anyone that was known?
The one guy looked like fucking Shaggy.
Cabin in the
I don't think
Woods.
so.
Yeah, I don't think
Fran Kranz.
Kristen Connolly.
Fran Kranz.
Some
That was
TV shows.
Shaggy.
Anna Hutchinson.
She was in Power Rangers, Jungle Fury.
Yes. So yeah, it was Fran Kranz. Nope.
No, none of these people were like.
Jesse Williams. Oh, this guy was on Grey's
He's in
Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Yeah.
His name is familiar because I read that he left the show this past week.
I've seen him on the TV when my wife rewatches it many times.
Yeah, he was on it for 12 fucking years. Jesus.
Is that show still on?
So he would have been on it for already 2 years by the time this movie came out. But then again, I believe it was filmed a couple years before this movie actually came out. Like it got delayed a lot.
Yep.
It was originally supposed to come out February 5th, 2010. So that means they would have shot it in 2009. So that's probably a while before they shot Thor and a while before even before he was on Grey's Anatomy. And it came out. Oh, this was technically a 2012 movie.
RIP.
It had its world premiere in December of 2011. It came out in April of 2012. Whatever. We talked about it now.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's close enough.
We could have talked about it in 2009 since it was filmed then.
It was filmed that long ago? Wow.
Yeah.
It's wild.
But that's it. That's what we got for 2011. Send in your picks for 2012. We'll be talking about it next week. And at least the world didn't end in 2012. So
yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's something to be happy about.
Did Doug end? Is he?
I was going to say we should probably, get off here so he doesn't think too much. Like he's got to go to bed.
He's still thinking about Bridesmaids.
He really is. That's actually the look on my face when I think about Bridesmaids.
Actually, Doug's doing like Blue Steel or some shit right now.
It is a model look. Any modeling agencies out there watching?
Zoolander.
I think his eyes follow me when I move.
That's the screenshot that we put up for Doug when he gets frozen.
Hold on.
Before he jumps off, like
I think
no.
I think he's smirking. I think he's actually there.
I gotta snip it. There we go. Boom. There we go. All right. Save for all.
We got it. All right. So if you end up seeing that photo in 2012, you know Doug's frozen again. But we'll see you all then. Thank you for listening or watching. Well, I guess you have to watch since it's only on YouTube.
They could put it on the background and listen to us.
Good point.
I wouldn't stare at my mug.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. But yeah, that's it. So thank you. We'll talk to you later.
See you.